Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. And we are in 124th session of the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. We have discussed very interesting things in the previous sessions. We are discussing right now the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, the universal form of the Lord. So, a very special form where there is a lot of action, and Arjuna is witnessing all of that. And he has some specific questions which he had asked in the previous verses, and we have discussed until verse number 34. So today we are going to continue from verse number 35, right? But before we begin, let's start with the pranam mantras. So kindly join your palms and please chant along with me the pranam mantras. Hare Krishna, Hina Mataji, welcome to the session.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Let's chant the pranam mantras. Let's dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON and my beloved spiritual master. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashyat Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back once again to the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. So, in the previous session, we had discussed some very interesting things about the universal form. There are a lot of activities happening in this universal form. There are so many people entering the mouths and getting crushed between the teeth of the universal form. All the great people, including like Bhishma, Drona, there was Karna, then also Jayadratha was mentioned in the previous verse. That how all these people are all ultimately going to reach death. So verse number 32, Bhagwan, he said that Supreme Lord, Kalosmi, because why Kalosmi? Arjuna had asked two specific questions. Oh, who are you? Because after seeing this Adbhuta, very ferocious form, Arjuna was a little perplexed and he asked his own friend, his own Supreme Lord, who are you? No, I don't understand. Who are you? Please tell me. And also, what is your mission? So, in reply to that, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, he said that Kalosmi Lokakshayakrat Pravardho, I am Kalaha. So, as time, I actually take away everybody's life. I destroy everyone. All the three worlds, all the three lokas are destroyed by me in the form of time. But except for you, Pandavas, everyone else will be destroyed. So that was said. And in verse number 33, Krishna said that Tasmat Tvam Uttishta Yasho Labhasva Jitva Shatrun Bhungshva Rajyam Samradam Maye Vaite Nihataha Spurvameva Nimittamatram Bhavisavvisacham. Everything is already done by me. Oh, Arjuna, you just become my nimitta. That's it. You just become an instrument in the hands, in my hands, so that dharma will be established. So we also understood that how Prabhupada is one of the best instrument of Krishna because he surrendered. His level of surrender was so much that everything he did was only for the pleasure of Krishna. So that was the level of surrenderance, and that is why he could act as the best instrument. And today we see the worldwide Hare Krishna movement, people chanting, becoming devotees. It's all because Prabhupada was a pure devotee. He was not of this world. At the same time, his surrenderance, he exemplified the great devotion of the great acharyas and also the great devotees that are mentioned in the Bhagavatam. right? So Prabhupada exemplifies all these wonderful qualities. And then Prabhupada, he is the greatest of all the instruments. He was so instrumental in spreading the Krishna conscious movement, which was the desire of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which was the desire of all the Shata Goswamis. It was the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was very instrumental in spreading this holy name. But we have understood. So similarly, we also, in our own capacities, we should become the best instruments. We should try to become the best instruments so that we can serve the Lord nicely and get more and more people to the mission of Prabhupada, because that is the mission of the Lord also. So then Krishna said that how in the 34th verse he said, the Dronam cha Bhishmam cha Jayadratam cha Karnam Tatanyaan api yodha viran maya hatam svam jahima vetishtaha yuddhasvachetasi rane sapatnan. He said, all these great people, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, these great warriors are already destroyed by me. You just kill them in the sense, kill their material bodies, and then you become victorious. You become known in the world that you are a great fighter. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies in the battle. So everything is already done. You take the credit, right? So this is the mission of the Lord. It's very clearly explained without any doubt that how Krishna's mission is actually to vanquish all these adharmic people from the surface of the world, right? And now Krishna, after speaking this, Sanjaya is going to come back into action. Suresh Pavarji, Hare Krishna, thank you so much for joining. It's a very interesting session. And now Sanjaya, he is who is actually narrating this whole episode, everything to Dhritarashtra, is now again going to speak to Dhritarashtra. So in the next verse, Sanjaya is speaking. Dev, you can unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse, 35th verse. Sanjaya Uvacha
Sanjay उवाच
एतत् श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य
एतत् श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य
कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णम्
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णम्
गद्गदं भीतभीतः प्रणम्य
स गदगद गदगदं भीत प्रणम्य
once again सञ्जय उवाच
सञ्जय उवाच
एतत् श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य
एतत् श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य
कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाहं कृष्णम्
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णम्
सगद्गदं भीतभीतः प्रणम्य
स गद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you see, it is said that he is doing namaskara, but what kind of namaskara? He is full of sagadgadam bhita bhitaha pranamya. So he is very, very fearful. After seeing this huge, ferocious form, it's not ordinary. His voice is faltering and he's with folded hands. He's doing namaskara with full of fear. Now, Sanjaya is telling this, and actually Dhritarashtra also was kind of having a little bit of hope that probably this fight will not happen. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, he was thinking that all these will only probably lead to Arjuna not fighting, And if Arjuna doesn't fight, then probably the war will not happen, and my sons will go. They will anyway rule. So that was his idea. Dhritarashtra was trying to somehow ensure or see that his sons are ruling the kingdom. So he didn't want this fight to happen because his sons will be saved, and at the same time he will see his sons ruling. Although there is a selfish interest deep within, because such people are so difficult to understand. Dhritarashtra, because he was blind, he could not rule, but he would sit still on the throne and make his sons king so that he could enjoy being the king of the world. So that was a deep desire that he also had. So now, here Sanjay is speaking Dhritarashtra, telling this to Dhritarashtra, and all these further verses are just going to smash these ideas of Dhritarashtra that we had. Further going to smash, because Sanjay is going to explain that Arjuna is in that position right now, trembling in all this situation is there because he's seeing the ferocious form, but that doesn't mean that he's going to not fight. Because just in the previous verse, Krishna has told very clearly, "Oh Arjuna, get up and fight." Krishna is urging Arjuna to fight, and Arjuna is an obedient devotee, so he's not going to not fight because he has already got the orders now. You get a fight, but now all this is just a um, Arjuna's expression, because he's seeing Adbhuta form. He's seeing such a wonderful thing, which is very ferocious. So here in this particular verse, Arjuna is referred. Sanjay is calling Arjuna as Kiriti. Kiriti means what? Kiriti means, now what happened? Arjuna, we all know that once accidentally, it was a decision that he took to enter the chambers of Yudhishthira and Draupadi, because there was a rule that when Draupadi is with one of them, no one else can actually enter the chambers of Draupadi. But because the cows had been kidnapped, and uh, they were supposed to be protected, and Gandiva, his bow, was in the chambers of Draupadi, he actually had to enter. Although Yudhishthira and Draupadi were playing a gambling match there, he had to enter. And because of that vow, that, oh, if anybody actually enters the chamber of Draupadi, other than the husband whom she's supposed to be with, then that person has to actually go for a certain period of time. He has to go into the forest, exile. So it happened because of the protection of the cows. But then Arjuna said, "No, nothing doing. Although I know it is for a higher cause, I did enter, but I really have to go now." And that is how he started traversing the earth and traveling from place to place. And then he also reached the heavens. And when he reached the heavens, there he met the Indra. And then actually Arjuna helped Indra to defeat the enemies, the demons, in the war, and he fought very, very ferociously. Not an ordinary. Arjuna was very powerful warrior, and he actually defeated demons. And Indra was so pleased because Arjuna is none other than his Amsha. So Indra was very, very pleased. He hugged Arjuna. He was, patting Arjuna's back, and then he was smelling his hair, Arjuna's hair. Indra was very happy as a father, loving father. He was dealing with Arjuna in a very nice way. And then, in reciprocation for his great uh, feats in war and defeating all the demons, Indra, being pleased, he gave him some divine gifts. He gave him the Devadatta. Devadatta is the shank of um, Arjuna. And he gave him a very beautiful Swarna garland which could not wither out. The very, very special garland he gave him. He also gave him a kavacha, very powerful kavacha. And then he gave him the mukut, the kirita. Mukuta is also called a Kirita. It was so special, very divine special. It was coming from Indra himself, who is the king of heavens. He will not give some ordinary gift, and that too to his own son. So it was a very special divine Kirita that was gifted by Indra to Arjuna. And whenever Arjuna wore this Kirita, he was standing out. He was an eye catcher. Every eyes in the Hastinapura or wherever he went in Indraprastha were rolling out, because it was very special, because he stood out from the normal crowd because of that Kirita. That's why his name itself became Kiriti. So Sanjaya is addressing Arjuna with that specific relation with the Kirita that he has. This is very special way of addressing that we see in the Vedic scriptures. Many times People in the Vedic scriptures, they glorify the people or they address the people by their qualities. Unfortunately, that system is not there today. We just call each other with some probably some pet names, which actually has no connection with the qualities that we have. We are all called with some pet names, but then that is nowhere connected to the qualities that we have. So uh, that is not the system in the Vedic times. Vedic times means you have a specific quality, and you will be glorified with that specific quality. Today many people must may have the name Bhimasena, but he will see a cockroach and he'll be fearful. That kind of a situation will be there. So it is. He may be having a name Vrikodara, voracious eater, but his appetite will be so little, he'll not be able to eat anything. So it is a mismatch between the name and the quality that people have. So it's total, mismatch. So in Vedic times, it is not like that. Vedic times, your qualities and your names will match. So here, Sanjaya is addressing Arjuna as Kiriti because he is wearing a special Kirita, which is a very divine Kirita and makes him very special. So that is one thing. So it was gifted by um, Indra to Arjuna. And here also, it is Sanjaya is calling Krishna as Keshava. So what is Keshava? Keshava, Ka, Ka refers to Brahma. In the word, the syllable Ka refers to Brahma, Sha refers to Shiva. Vapu, Va means Vapu. So Keshava. So Keshava. There are three syllables. So Ka refers to Brahma, Shiva, and Vapu means physical body, anything that physical. So in the form of Keshava, Brahma and Shiva reside. So Keshava, another meaning of Keshava is one who kills the demon Keshi. Because Krishna killed the demon Keshi, his name became Keshava. Another meaning is also that this Brahma and Shiva both reside in the Vapu, the physical form of the Lord. That's why his another name is Keshava. The Brahma and Shiva reside in the body of Krishna. They don't have a separate origin. We all know that how Brahma emanates. Brahma emanates from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, right? And then from Brahma, because Brahma became a little uh, angry on the four Kumaras because they said, we want to be brahmachari. We don't want to get married. We want to remain Naishtika brahmachari. Not forget about brahmachari. We don't want to even grow old. We don't want to grow more than 5 years. So they took Kamandalu, they chanted some mantras, they sprinkled on themselves, and that's it. The four Kumaras are small little boys. They are still, small little boys. They are just like little boys. They don't have clothes. They are roaming around the whole universe naked, but they are the supreme, very, very supreme devotees of the Lord. At the same time, they are highly learned, very, very intellectual. So these four Kumaras, when they did not accept to get married, Brahma became a little angry, and because of that anger, Rudra came out. So because of all that, then Shiva. So Shiva and Brahma don't have a separate origin. Their origin is in Krishna. So Keshava also refers that Ka Brahma, Sha Shiva, Va refers to the Vapu, the physical form. So Brahma and Shiva actually reside in the form of Krishna. So Hare Krishna, Vaishali ji, thank you so much for joining. And at the same time, we also have Lakshmi Mataji joining us on YouTube. So there is a question by Vaishali Prabhuji. Can you please tell when you conduct these class because I don't get notification in YouTube. Because of that, I have missed many classes. Actually, this happens every Sunday, 10 a.m. So you can always join, and there is also a WhatsApp group. You can message me, and then we can add you to the group so that you are aware. Okay. So this is Keshava, the meaning of Keshava, right? So now, now please understand, Arjuna possessed so much of power to the extent that he could kill and defeat the demons in the heavens, going from earthly planet, going to heaven and defeating and joining hands with the devatas and fighting against the demons. And still, he's so powerful, and that such a powerful warrior, great warrior like Arjuna, is now trembling. Gadgadam. He's like Gadgada. Bhita Bhitaha Pranamya. He's like totally petrified. So seeing this huge, ferocious form, he is completely afraid. He's trembling in fear, looking at this universal form of Krishna. And this valiant Arjuna is yet he's speaking a little bit. Why is he speaking? Because he wants to express all the beautiful things, the ferocious things, everything he wants to express so that we know what is the universal form to some extent. Because if Arjuna wouldn't have spoken anything about the universal form, then we wouldn't have got to know. So he's fearful, but he's also describing this, right? So it is uh, it is the mission of the Lord that he wants to come here, show all these different things to his devotees, the demons, and at the same time, we all get to know a little tinge of what is Krishna's beauty. With the same purport, Prabhupada is very beautifully saying also, Bhubhara Sura Rajanya Hantave Guptaye Satam Avatirnasya Nivrityai Yasho Loke Vitanyate. So it is said, Prabhupada is saying that how the Supreme Personality of Godhead descended to kill the demoniac kings. Why he came? He came to kill the demoniac kings who were the burden on the earth. Burden on the earth. I told you last time that how Krishna appeared because there was so much of problem on this earth that Mother Earth, she said, Bhudevi said, I cannot tolerate these children. All are demons or devatas or good people or bad people. They're all the children. She considers everyone to be the children. But sometimes when there are some notorious children who go against the father, the mother doesn't like. So that is why she was so much in trouble. She was so much in pain. She goes to Brahma and please ask the Lord to come. And that's how they all prayed and the Lord had come. Why? Here Krishna is saying that to take out the burden of the earth. There was so much of burden because of these unwanted adharmic kings and to protect the saintly devotees. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Right? This is why Krishna comes. Now, very interestingly, it is said here that in this particular verse, however, both the demons and the devotees are awarded liberation. Avatirasya nivrityai yasholoke vitanyate. See, whether it is in this presence, Krishna's presence, whoever was killed, whether they were good kings, the bad kings, the good soldiers, the bad soldiers, everyone was destroyed. But each one of them, they got liberation. They got liberated. Why? Because they all were in the presence of Krishna. Now, did they get the same level of mukti? No, there are different types of muktis. That is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said that the demons who were having ill feelings towards Krishna, they all got liberation to the Brahma Jyoti, Brahman realization. But the devotees who were not uh, had any ill feelings towards Krishna, they entered the planets, the spiritual planets where Krishna resides in his different forms, right? And we should know very clearly, if at all there is someone who can give us mukti, it is only Krishna and nobody else other than Krishna. Not even Brahma or Shiva can give us mukti, liberation. This word mukti, right? Moksha cannot be given by any devata, including Brahma and Shiva. In fact, Shiva himself is saying to Parvati, he is saying that mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur eva na samshayaha. So if at all anyone can give mukti, that is Vishnuhu. Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur eva na samshayaha. There is no one other than Vishnu who can actually bestow liberation to all of us. Otherwise, it's just not possible. Just see. So the demons got liberated to the Brahmajyoti, and then all the others who were great devotees, they got into the different planets. So according to our inclination or our attachment to Krishna, they got liberated. Nobody was actually going to the lower regions. They all were actually promoted to the higher regions according to their bhakti and according to their karma and according to their attachment, not even karma. It is according to the attachment that they had or the feelings that they had towards Krishna, right? So that is very nice. Hina Mataji, you can unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse, and that is verse number 36. Yeah. अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकृत्या
स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या
जगत्प्रहर्यष्यति अनुरज्यते रज
जगत्प्रहर्षति अनुरज्यते च
रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति
रक्षामि भीतानि अदिशो द्रवन्ति
सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गः
सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गः
Once again, Arjuna Uvacha
अर्जुन उवाच
स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या
स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या
प्रहर्षत्य अनुरज्यते च
जगत्प्रहर्षति अनुरज्यते च
रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति
रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति
सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गः
सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गः
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
Arjun said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name and does everyone becomes happy when they chant the holy names.
Okay, looks
The
like the
demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Hare Krishna.
yes. Thank you so much. So, so it is a very nice verse. Now Arjuna, Sanjaya spoke. Sanjaya gave the context to Dhritarashtra that yes, this is what is happening in the scene in the battlefield. That Kiriti is now going to speak to Keshava. So Arjuna, what did he say? Oh, master of the senses. Oh, Rishikesha. Rishika. Rishi means Rishi is the senses, and Rishikesha means one who is the master of the senses. The world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. So here, see, very nice instruction. This is actually it is saying Jagat praharishyati anurajyate cha. O master of the senses, Jagat praharshyate. The world becomes praharshyate. It becomes very, very joyful, the whole world, when anurajyate cha. So whenever your glories are chanted, whenever your holy name is chanted, the world becomes joyful. So basically, Arjuna is saying here that if at all the world needs happiness, joy, then the best way to is glorify the Lord. When we do that, when we glorify the Lord more and more and more, we become joyful. This is the secret of happy life. I'll tell you, we have tried many, many things in this life to become happy in so many different ways. Even now, every single day, we are working so hard. For what? We want to become happy. We want to cook something nice. We want to see something nice. We want to hear something nice. We all have different inclinations. We all have certain default natures, and according to our nature, we are acting. But when we do all of that forgetting Krishna, we will not become joyful. And it is known to us. We have tried so many things in our life. We did the okay, I have to study, I have to go to the college, I have to meet friends, I have to watch a movie, I have to do so many different things. We have tried. I have to eat the best of the foods. But are we truly happy? Arjuna is saying you cannot. People cannot become happy. The world will be happy only when praharishyate. Only they become joyful when they chant the holy names. That is why Sankirtan moment is created by the Lord. There is no other way. It is just not possible. And all this is not simply that we have to follow. Even the Siddhas, the Devatas, even they follow this because even they are looking for happiness. Just yesterday, I was reading the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and in the 6th chapter, where in the Edu dynasty is retiring to Prabhasa. And at that time, actually, it is the time when Krishna is about to leave the planet. There were symptoms that Krishna is about to leave the planet. And very beautifully, Narada has explained Vasudev and Devaki that you don't worry because you don't think that he's simply your son, he's the Supreme Lord. And because you have become his parents, you will definitely, without fail, be liberated to the spiritual world, no doubt. And then to see this two-handed beautiful form of the Lord, the Devatas have come to Dwaraka. All these great, including Brahma, Shiva, the Siddhas, that is what is mentioned here also. You see, when the Mahabharata war was going on, it's not simply that the Pandavas and Kauravas were there, even the Devatas were watching, because it's a great war between Dharma and Adharma. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Dharma and Dharma both are actually there. And both, it's a fight between Dharma and Adharma, and it is all going to be watched by the great personalities. And Krishna, Arjuna is also saying here, see, Jagat praharashyati anurajyate cha rakshamsi bhitani disho dravanti sarve namasanti cha siddha sangha. So, siddha sangha, even the great of the personalities, the devatas, Prabhupada is saying the intelligentsia of the higher planet. Intelligentsia, Prabhupada is using a very nice word. Intelligentsia means the very intelligent people, very intelligent people from the above planets are also watching this. So great intelligent people from above are watching this, and such great people, not just during the war, they were definitely there during the war. After the war of Kurukshetra was done, and when Krishna was about to wind up his activities and pastimes on these earthly planets, all these great devatas again came to Dwaraka. They were all so mesmerized to see. They wanted to see the two-handed form. They said, nothing doing. We have seen many forms before, but now we want to see this two-handed form, which is so rare. Seeing Krishna in the two-handed form is very rare, and we want to watch it. So all of them came, including Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and they all came not simply, but they came with various wonderful things which they could bring from the higher planetary systems. And then they bought a beautiful flower garland from the Nandanavana. So the heavenly garden, from the Nandanavana, they got the very celestial flowers and they were offering to Krishna. All these great devatas have assembled and they are praying. What are they praying? Sri Deva Uchuhu. नतः स्मते नाथ पदारविंदम बुद्धिन्द्रिया प्राणमनोवचोभिः यच्चिन्त्यतेऽन्तर्हृदि भावयुक्ते मुमुक्षुभिः कर्ममयोरुपाशा. What does it mean? The translation, I'll just read out, very beautiful. The demigods began to speak, and what are they speaking? They're speaking, our dear Lord, advanced mystic yogis, striving for liberation from the severe bondage of material work, meditate with great devotion upon your lotus feet within their hearts. What does that mean? The great yogis who are striving for liberation, right? Moksha, who are all trying to be liberated. What do? They meditate upon the lotus feet, not even the whole body of the Lord. They just meditate, just by meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna in their heart. What do? They get liberated. And here, just imagine, will the devatas lose such an opportunity to see the direct form, the two-handed form of the Lord? Because they will not miss such an opportunity because they want to get liberated. When yogis are trying for liberation just by seeing the lotus feet of the Lord in their heart, why will devatas lose such an opportunity of seeing the two-handed beautiful form, the full complete form of the Lord? That's a Purna Avatara. Why will they miss such an opportunity? They wanted to come and look at this because they are also eager to get liberated. That's dedicating our intelligence, senses, vital air, mind, and power of speech to your lordships. We, devatas, demigods, bow down at your lotus feet. Just see. Very beautiful it is. So what Arjuna is doing is not ordinary. He is doing namasyante, bhita bhitaha. He is out of fear and trembling nature. He is praying, no doubt. But at the same time, we should know this prayers offered by Arjuna is so glorious because this act of Namasyante, namaskara is even done by the great devatas. And why are they doing? Because they also want to get liberated from this material world. Such a powerful thing it is. So we think many times, yeah, we become little uh, loose with our own sadhana. Why we become loose with our own sadhana? Because we are just going to chant Hare Krishna and we are going to back to our head. No, it's not so easy. We are chanting. We have the simplest of the form of or simplest of the process to go and get liberated. But are we really doing the Sankirtana or Japa as prescribed by the great acharyas? Many times our mind is disturbing us, right? Here Arjuna is saying, by glorifying you, the world will become joyful. We are not joyful right now, even after becoming devotees to some extent. Why? Because our mind is not chanting the holy names perfectly. But when we chant the names of Krishna perfectly, then we will become joyful. Anytime we are not joyful and we are morose, it only indicates that our sadhana is weakened. Prabhupada says, if you are not joyful as a devotee, it only means that you are not situated in Krishna consciousness. You are actually thinking of something else which is mundane, which is material. And as long as our consciousness is absorbed in something which is mundane and material and not in Krishna, we cannot remain joyful. So, our only indication, whenever we are not joyful, it's a very clear indication that we are not situated in Krishna consciousness as devotees. Right? So, that is why it is both way. When Krishna Arjuna is saying this, the world will become joyful by taking your name, it will become joyful. That's why, as devotees, we have to spread this Krishna consciousness, Sankirtana everywhere. Go home to home, town to town, street to street, and chant the holy names and make people chant. Very, very special it is. Just yesterday, the day before actually, in Pune, our devotees from HKM Pune, Hare Krishna Movement Pune, uh, they all went to my sister's place. They had organized a post Janmashtami event just to connect with people because on the Janmashtami everyone is busy and they are in the temples. So post Janmashtami they had a very very wonderful celebration in their community. They booked the lawn and they invited the people of the community and they had Laddu Gopal, Julan, children program, costume, all these things. What happens in the temple, they also organized in the community. So many people, they all joined. They chanted the holy names. They did the Abhishekam for Laddu Gopal, Nitai Gauranga. Amazing event happened. All this happened and everybody was so happy. They were thrilled that something like this can happen. For the children, it was such an excitement because they had seen people drinking juices themselves, but they had never seen that the fruit juices can also be put on the Lord and then that can be taken as prasadam later as Saranamrita. All that was so exciting for the children, different colors of juices that was flowing through the Laddu Gopal and Mithai Gaurang. They were so happy to see all this. It was with great astonishment they were seeing all this. Even for the elderly people, when they came and they were doing Jula, it was such a connect. So many people got connected just by doing such a simple event. So the prasadam and everything. So when we do all these things, automatically we are giving an opportunity to devotees, many others, to come and connect with Krishna. So that is how they all became joyful. The whole event was to spread joy. The Abhishekam, the Kirtans, the holy name. What did they do? They kept Krishna in the center, they chanted his holy name, they glorified the Lord's pastimes. All that was done, and by doing so, that gave so much joy to all the people who came. So simple. And they want it more now. They said that this is something that we want more again and again. So this is the way we are supposed to become devotees and spread Krishna consciousness more and more. See, Rakshasmi Bhitani Dishodravanti. So now when the devatas are praying that, oh yes, my Lord, we want to glorify you, at the same time, what is happening? Rakshamsi Bhitani Dishodravanti. They are all running away in different directions, looking at this ferocious form. Sarve Namasyante Chasiddha Sangha. And all the great people they are also doing Namasyante. We have discussed that how Namasyante means we are all we can do namaskara in two different forms. Panchanga namaskara, there is Ashtanga namaskara, right? Ashtanga namaskara means the 8 limbs of the body touch the ground. Dandavat it is called, right? I told you last time. Dandavat means falling like a stick. You fall like a stick on the ground. That is Dandavat Pranam. Dorbhyam, Padabhyam. Dorbhyam means hands. Two hands are resting. Padabhyam means the legs are touching the ground. And then Janubhyam means the knees. The knees are touching the ground. Then Urase means that is the chest, for the chest region is touching the ground. Then Shirasha, the head, the forehead is touching. Drishaha, the eyes, we actually keep the eyes. Then there is Manasa, there is Vachasa, and then there is Cheta. When we actually glorify the Supreme Lord while doing Namaskara, then all these different 8 aspects of uh, Namaskara, Ashtanga Namaskara, is called the Dandavat Pranam. So, Manasa Vachasa Chetihi Pranamyo Ashtanga Iritaha, it is called. So, this is the complete pranama. When you chant mantras, the pranama mantras loudly, then it is perfect. Of course, women, they can do Panchanga Namaskara without touching the region, the belly region. Why? Because it is life giving force. If the region is the garbha is actually supposed to give life, and that's why it has to be protected and respected. That is why for women it is mentioned that they do only the Panchanga Namaskara. There is no Urase. There is no Urase and mm, Shirasa is there. So that way we can do Namaskara, right? That is very nice. So let us chant the next verse. Dev, you can unmute yourself. The next verse is the 37th verse. Let's see what he is going to say. Arjuna is further continuing to say. We also have Vandana Mataji joining us. Thank you so much for joining. All those devotees who are joining on YouTube, you can say Hare Krishna. 37th verse. Kasmaच tena namiranmahatman
कस्माच्च तेन नमिरन्महात्मन्
गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्याद्य कर्त्रे
गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽपि आदिकर्ते
अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास
अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास
त्वमक्षरं सत् असत् तत्परं यत्
त्वमक्षरं सत् असत् तत्परं यत्
Let's look at it once again. कस्माच्च तेन नमिरन्महात्मन्
कस्माच्च तेन नमिरन्महात्मन्
गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्याद्य कर्त्रे
गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽपि आदिकर्ते
अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास
अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवासः
त्वमक्षरं सत् असत् तत्परं यत्
त्वम् अक्षरं सत् असत् तत्परं यत्.
Wonderful, very nice. So let's read the translation.
O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, the transcendental to this material manifestation. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here it is said, "Oh, great! You are the most great. Devesha Jagannivasa Ananta Dev." You say Gariyase Brahmanopi Adikartre. Adikartre. Very nice. Very nice words are there here. And let us explain and understand. These are some very nice descriptions that actually Arjuna is calling out, right? So here it is said Mahatma. Mahatma means Mahatma. So it is also referring to the universal form because it's a very Mahan. That Virata Rupa is not ordinary. It's a very special form. So Mahatma means it's referring to the universal form, and Mahatma also refers to someone who is very liberal, very liberal. So Krishna is very liberal in giving the various types of liberation to people. He gives very easily liberation to people and his devotees. So, now what to speak of Krishna giving liberation? Krishna is definitely very dayalu, no doubt about it. He is Mahatma because he is liberal, but at the same time, it is not just Krishna who is liberal, his devotees. Krishna's devotees are also very liberal. Krishna can give mukti, right? I've told you that how Shiva is telling in the previous verse, we understood that how Shiva is telling that if at all there is anyone who can actually give liberation, that is Vandi Harihi, Mukti Pradata Sarvesham Vishnur Evana Samshayaha. But if you come in contact with a pure devotee, even the pure devotee can give you liberation. That is the power of the pure devotees. Very, very special. The pure devotees are not ordinary. You know that there is one very beautiful pastime. There is a beautiful pastime that how once, Ramanujacharya, along with his sannyasi disciples, he was, feeding the fishes in the temple pond. And then when he was feeding the fishes, when the fishes ate that, whatever given by Ramanujacharya, the fishes actually took the 400 Vishnu forms, and they flew. And the sannyasis were all astonished. Such a powerful thing. So you can imagine that a devotee can actually give liberation to any fallen, most abominable species also. In Padma Purana, there is a very nice story of a Brahmana called Sunanda Brahmana. This Sunanda Brahmana, very ardent devotee, very special devotee. He always used to glorify the Lord and chant and describe the beauties of the Lord, always glorifying the Lord. Very beautiful, chanting the Bhagavatam and all that. So this Sunanda Brahmana, who was so expert in glorifying, he used to go from place to place, and once he went to marriage ceremony as a priest. And then what happened when the arrangements were all going on in the marriage time? At that time, there was one Brahma Rakshasa. When Brahma Rakshasa, he came and he devoured everyone. So many people he just ate off. People were there doing all arrangements. All the people who had come to attend the marriage, and this Brahma Rakshasa comes and eats them off. Everyone was petrified, running from here and there. And then Sunanda Brahmana is so expert. He's not a Siddha, he doesn't have some yogic powers or anything of that sort. He simply glorifies the Lord, simply chants the holy names of the Lord. And it was so powerful, and his purity was so much that this uh, people whom he had actually eaten, that Rakshasa, Brahma Rakshasa, who had eaten all these people, they started coming out. Not just coming out, they all started taking 400 forms and they were getting liberated. And then finally, this Brahma Rakshasa, who also heard from the pure mouth, the lotus mouth of the Sunanda Brahmana, even he got 400 form and got liberated. That is the power of the pure devotees. Now, can you imagine? Here, Krishna is addressed that, oh, you are Mukti Pradata. You are the one who gives liberation. But what to speak of Krishna? Even his devotees are so powerful. Pure devotees are so powerful that, they can liberate. Prabhupada, you see, so many devotees he has made. Do you think that he's going to give all of us like this, leave us here in this material world? No, Prabhupada said, until all my disciples get liberated to spiritual world, I will not leave this world. That is the promise of Prabhupada. That is spiritual master. A spiritual master means one who ensures that his devotees are liberated, his disciples are liberated. That is a spiritual master. So his devotees, Krishna's devotees are so powerful. We should know this one. Why I'm telling? Because devotees are always glorifying the Lord. That the mood is that anything that Krishna does, devotees will say Jai, Jai, Jai. That is the mood of the devotees. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Anything Krishna does. Krishna lifts one big Govardhan hill, the devotees are chanting Jai, Jai, Jai. He kills Putana, a demon, Jai, Jai, Jai. Anytime Krishna kills another Asura, Jai, Jai, Jai. He kills Kamsa, Jai, Jai, Jai. He protects the Pandavas, devotees are like Jai, 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 Krishna, hey, all glorifying. And when he's taking avatar also, the devotees are not quiet. The devotees are always chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was coming, he was about to take birth, and there was that full moon day, and then there was going to be a solar lunar eclipse at that time, and everyone in Mayapur, they were all taking bath in the Ganges, Ganga, and at that time, everyone, tumultuous sound was there. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. And that was so amazing. Everyone was chanting the glories of the Lord. And that was an indication that yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, the holy names will be chanted. He is coming to inaugurate this Sankirtana moment. Everyone was chanting the holy name. So that was very, very special. So, Tushyanti Jaramanti. So, very, very liberal. Why I'm saying this? Because Krishna is liberal because he can give mukti. What sort of mukti? He will give samipya. To some of his devotees, he will give samipya. Samipya means you can reside very close to the Lord. He will give swarupya. Sarupya means you will acquire the physical features like the Narayana form. Just like Krishna has his body, Narayana has his form. By becoming his devotees, he will give you Sarupya Mukti. Sarupya Mukti means that Mukti by which you can get a similar body like the Lord. When you go to the temple, generally the South Indian temple, there is Jaya and Vijaya. Now, Lord has 400 forms. He's Chaturbhuja, right? But you see that even the Jaya and Vijaya, they also have 400 forms. Why? Because they have that Sarupya Mukti. They have a similar form, just like the Lord. So this is how now Lord is everywhere. Lord is all pervading. Anant Devesha Jagannivasa. Jagannivasa means you are in every nook and corner of this universe. There is nowhere in the universe where you do not exist. In the darkest of the forest, if you are walking sometime, it might be pitch dark. Even in that deep, dark forest, Krishna will be available for you. None other, people may not be there. People may not even come to you, but Krishna will be there with you all the time. Just like sun, he is in one place, but he is pervading all through out the universe because of his sun rays. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is like the sun. He is in one place, situated in one place, but he pervades everything. He is Jagannivasa, right? And because of this presence of the Lord, always he is uh, he is constantly taking care of the things and maintaining things within this universe, because he's all the way. See, if the family is together, it is because of Krishna's mercy, because Krishna is in control. If our organs in the body are working in sync, because that is all because Krishna is controlling them. If the seasons are changing perfectly, then Krishna is in control. So you see, anything that is perfectly organized in this universe, it's all because Krishna is in control. That is all because Jesus Jagannivasa, Ananta Devesha. You are Ananta Deva. You are the greatest of the great. Adi Kartre. You are Adi Deva also. Why he is called Adi Deva or Adi Kartre? Because he is the Supreme Lord. That I'll explain in the next verse also. But Tam Aksharam Sad Asad Tat Param Yat. What does that? Aksharam. Akshara means that which is indestructible. Right? Akshara means that cannot be destroyed. Shara means that which is destroyed. Akshara means that which cannot be destroyed. And we are also Akshara. As spirit soul, as Atma, we are also Akshara. We are not going to be destroyed because we are the part and parcel of that Supreme Lord who is Akshara. So we are also Akshara. We will never be destroyed at any point of time. Right? Because we are also Akshara, we should refer to the Lord as a great personality, and then we should pray to him. Aradhanam hi sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam param. This is what Shiva is telling. Shiva is telling to Parvati that Aradhanam hi sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam param. The greatest worship is Aradhana, is of Vishnu. When you worship Vishnu, that is the topmost. Aradhanam param, it is the param, the topmost worship is worship to the Supreme Lord Vishnu. That is all. It's very, very special. And pure devotees, when we are talking about Jagannivasa, Lord is present everywhere. Pure devotees actually see the Lord everywhere. They not just come to the temple and see the Lord, they can see everywhere the Supreme Lord. It is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, very beautifully, it is said in the Madhya Leela, it is said that Stavar Jangama Deke Na Deke Taramurti Sarvatra Hayanija Ishtadeva Spurti. Stavara Jangama Deke. The great Mahabhagavata, the great devotees, they actually see the mobile and immobile things, moving things and non-moving things. Stavara Jangama Deke, Na Deke Taramurti. But they don't exactly see their forms. They don't see, oh, there is some animal here, there is some tree here. They don't see any of those things. We see a tree, we see a flower, we see an animal, or tiger, or peacock, or a doctor, whatever. We see different people and different species. But Mahabhagavatas, Stavar Jangama Deke, Na Deke Taramurti, Sarvatra Haya Nija, Ishta Deva Spurti. Everywhere they immediately see only that the Supreme Lord is manifested. That is the vision of the great Mahabhagavatas. Why they see the Lord everywhere? Because their eyes are anointed with the prema. Premanjanachurita bhakti vilochanena santas sadhaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So they see Govinda everywhere. Why? Because Preman Janachurita, their eyes are not anointed with kajal. The great Santaha, Sadhaiva Hridayeshu, they are constantly seeing the Lord in their heart. Because they are seeing the Lord in the heart, they can see Lord everywhere outside. Because we don't see the Lord within our heart, we cannot see Lord everywhere. That's the problem. We are trying to see externally and we fail. But the moment when we become expert in seeing the Lord within, then you can see Lord without everywhere. That is possible. So, first thing is in bhakti, we should try to learn and understand the Lord is within us. And how do we see the Lord within us, the Paramatma within our heart? When by pure chanting, when we glorify the Lord, when our heart is filled and absorbed with the pastimes, thinking about the pastimes of the Lord, at that time the Lord will reside in our heart. And when the Lord is residing in our heart, you will see Krishna within. And when you see Krishna within, you can see Krishna without also. So the point is not seeing externally, the point is seeing Krishna internally first. That is bhakti. That is bhakti. And we don't see that. We fail because why we don't see? Our heart is now filled with dirt. So we should pray to Narsimha. We should pray to Narsimha that, oh my Lord, you please, with your divine sharp nails, you take that black dirt which is there in my heart, you pull that out. You take that dirt and purify my heart so that I can see you pure, so that I can see you clearly. That is purity. That is what we should see. Right? So the Lord is Akshara. Akshara. He is never going to be destroyed and we will never be destroyed because we are his devotees. Right? So we will also chant another few words. So, Hina Mataji, you can unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse also, that is 38th verse. Yeah. It is said here very nicely. Tvamadideva Purusha Puranaha
त्वमादिदेव पुरुषः पुराण
Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam
त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम्
Vettasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama
वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम
Tvaya Tatam Vishwamanantarupa.
त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूपा
Once again, Tvamadideva Purusha Purana
त्वमादिदेव पुरुषः पुराण
Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam
त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम्
Vettasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama
वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम
Tvaya Tatam Vishwamanantarupa.
त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूपा
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of all this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, wonderful. So this is again a very beautiful words here, very nice words. So it is uh, saying that how Krishna is Adi Deva. So he's not an ordinary personality. He is Adi Deva. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, Adi Deva, Purusha Purana. What is Adi Deva? Adi Deva means she is the he is called Adi Deva because he is the one who was worshipped by the first living entity, and that is Brahma. Brahma is the first living entity, and that Brahma worshipped this Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and because of this, he is called as Adi Deva. Brahma's evolution was from the navel of the Lord, right? So that is one meaning of Adi Deva. Adi Deva means, of course, he is Adi Purushaha, and that's why he is Adi Deva. But at the same time, another way of looking at it is that because he is worshipped by Brahma, the first living entity, that's why he's also called as Adi Deva. And then Purusha Puranaha, he's Purusha, enjoyer, and he's a Puranaha. This is Pura. Pura means old. Purana. ये बहुत पुराना हो गया. We tell no Puran, old. It is Pura means old, and Na means new. So one who is so old, very old. Purana. Pura means old. Na means new. So one who is very old, yet he looks very fresh and new, is Purana. Krishna is very old. He's Adi Purusha, oldest of the world, but he looks very fresh, just like as if he is a new, young boy. That is Purana. That is why it's Purusha Purana. We are not like that. A little bit, another few years, we start getting wrinkles in our body. Our skin will be getting wrinkles, and our face will be wrinkled, and then we will be going for this surgery and that surgery, and oh God knows what all. Our body looks old. Even Brahma, who is actually our oldest personality, the first living entity, he looks old. He has all that beard and all those things. But Krishna is not like that. He is always fresh. Navayauvanam cha. Always very fresh. He's Purusha Purana, huh? But he's old, but he's always looking very new and fresh. That is Krishna's body. It's not an ordinary body. That's why the Devatas are also coming. Devatas, why they are eager to see this form? Because it is so old body, older than us, but then he looks so young. So Krishna, they all are bewildered. They want to see this beautiful form. Anyone would like to see the form like that, right? So that is Purusha Purana. And what is the further thing? It is also mentioned that Tamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam. It is he is glorified. He is Purana also means he is glorified in every Purana. There are 18 Puranas, and Krishna is glorified in each and every Purana. Actually, that is a fact. You take any Purana, Matsya Purana, Vayu Purana, Agni Purana, you take Brahmana Purana, Bhavishya Purana, any Purana you take, Krishna is glorified. That's why he is also called as Purana Purusha, because he is glorified in all the Puranas, right? So if we come in contact with this Purana Purusha, some way or the other, it will only help us get liberated automatically through our sadhana. So that is why he's Purana Purusha. And he's also Param Dhama. So when we go to that Param Dhama, then there is no question of returning back to the ordinary material world. So he's Adi Deva, he's Purana Purusha. And when we get in touch with this Purana Purusha, we will also become very new and fresh. Right? So Dev, you can unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse, 39th verse. This is also very interesting verse actually. Let us chant this verse. वायोर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणस्य शाङ्कः
वायोर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः शशाङ्कः
प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपि प्रपितामहश्च
प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च
नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वा
नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वा
पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते.
पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते
Once again, वायोर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः शशाङ्कः
वायोर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः शशाङ्कः
प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च
प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च
नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वा
नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वा
पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते.
पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते
Please read the translation.
You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again and yet again.
Yeah, wonderful. Very, very nice. You see, so this is another very special thing that he's saying here. So these are um now Arjuna's personal feelings, realizations after seeing he's able to believe. So in the 10th chapter, what was Krishna doing in the 10th chapter? Krishna explained opulences, Vibhuti Yoga. Continuously he mentioned Vibhutis after Vibhutis after Vibhutis. But when you hear so much, in our conditioned life, we believe only when we see. That's why it is said, seeing is believing. So Krishna said, all right, okay, Arjuna, in the 10th chapter, I have given you a lot of information about my Vibhutis. Now you see my Vibhutis. Now Lord is showing him all the Vibhutis that he had explained, right? So actually, in this Vibhuti, in this beautiful form where he's seeing all the Vibhutis of Krishna, it is very fearful. He's seeing death, directly he's seeing death. And that is something that we are supposed to understand. We don't understand death so properly. We, every time, we want to avoid that. Actually, avoiding death means demons avoid death. In this universal form, Krishna is showing death itself. Why that? Because we have to face death one day. And the Yaksha Prashna, we all know that when Yudhishthira was there in the forest, at that time the Yaksha came and asked Yudhishthira, what is the most astonishing thing that you see in this world? And what did Yudhishthira say? Ahanyahani bhutani gachanti ayamalayam sheshastavaram ichanti kimmascharyamataparaha. Ashcharya, the most ashcharya, astonishing thing that I see in this world is that ahanyahani bhutani gachanti ayamalayam. All these people in this world, they see so many people dying every single day. Ant is dying, the bird is dying, the dog is dying, the people are dying around you. So many people are dying around you. Ahanyani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. We see people going to Yamalayam, but sheshastavaram ichanti kimascharya atappara. Seeing all these people dying around us, still we think that I am not going to die, or rather we think that, I still have a lot of time to die. See, this is a illusion that we have. We see death all around us, but we think I have a lot of time. This is dangerous thing. It's a dangerous thinking. So it is all happening because of illusion. And so Krishna is saying here, Arjuna, now you have seen all these things, and now Krishna, after showing this very ferocious form, Arjuna saw all of that, everything in Krishna, and now he wanted to follow Krishna's words. He wanted to just accept what Krishna is saying, and he wanted to. So Bhagavad Gita, can be interpreted in many ways. People can interpret Bhagavad Gita in many ways. But to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should understand the way Arjuna understood. Right? So Arjuna is going to follow Krishna. Many people read Bhagavad Gita, but they don't follow Krishna. Arjuna is going to follow Krishna. And what is Arjuna saying here? Arjuna is saying, "Oh Krishna, you are Vayu. Vayu. Why is he saying Vayu? You could have said many other devatas. You could have said Indra, right? Indra is the king of the heavens. He could have spoken about Indra first. He could have taken his name first, but he's saying Vayu. If you come to our philosophy is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. If you go to the Madhva Sampradaya, the devotees, the Madhvas, they say Hari Sarvottama, Vayu Jivottama. Among all the devatas, Hari, not among all the living entities, Hari Sarvottama. Sarvottama means he is the greatest of everybody, greatest than any other living entity. Hari Sarvottama. Vayu Jivottama. Among all the jivas, among all the living entities, who is the Sarvottama or who is the greatest? The greatest is Vayu. The body of Vayu is not ordinary. It is made up of Shuddha Sattva. We also have a material body. It is a material body. Vayu's body is material body. But that material body is situated in Shuddha Sattva. It is not situated in the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. It is not affected by Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. It is Shuddha Sattva body. Vayu. Vayu means that which constantly flows. And Vayu means that which purifies all the time. That's why I had told you in the previous one of the session also that, wow, whenever we feel that our homes are stuffed, we feel inconvenient, you leave the home locked for some days and come back, you say it's all stuffy. What do? You first open the windows and the doors. Why? Because the Vayu has to flow. When the Vayu comes into the air, then everything is purified. The atmosphere gets purified. So Vayu is a purifying agent. Because of Vayu, everything moves. It flows. Vayu is all pervading. So you see, now if there is no Vayu in your tires, in your vehicles, what will happen? Can you move? No, you cannot move. It will be flat. With flat tires, you cannot move anywhere. Vayu has to be there. So if you have to move, prana vayu should be there. This machine has to move. If this machine has to move, there needs to be prana vayu. Moment prana leaves, that's it. Our body, this vayu, this vehicle will fall flat. It is punctured. Understanding the point? So vayu is very important. Without vayu, our body will come to stand still. We cannot move. So that's why vayu is very important. And vayu is jivottama. We should understand. Hanuman, Bhima and Madhvacharya, they all are actually Vayu Tattva. All great acharyas and great devotees of the Lord. Okay? So they give us the first-hand information. If you want to accept knowledge, you have to accept from the Madhva Pantha. We are all Madhva Panthas only in that sense because we accept the philosophy of Madhva. Right? So that's why we are, Vayu is called Jivottama. He is very, very special. Topmost in the Taratamya. Taratamya means the devatas are there and all the devatas are not at the same level. Please understand. Devatas, there is a hierarchy in the devatas. Taratamya, it is called Taratamya. Taratamya means hierarchy. And the topmost in that hierarchy is Vayu Devata. There are supporting materials that we will discuss another time. Why Vayu is considered to be the topmost. We will discuss. There are different devatas and all of them, they come into different sections in this hierarchy. Okay? It's called Devata Taratamya. That I'll explain sometime later to all of you. And then Krishna is also, Arjuna is saying, Krishna, you are Yama. Yama means you are Dandanayaka. Like Ajamila, he was protected by Vishnu Dutas. He was about to be taken to the Yamaloka, but then he was supposed to be punished by Yama, but Yama's duty is to punish. But even above Yamaraja is Krishna, because Krishna is the ultimate punisher. He punishes and he awards also. So Krishna is also referred to as Yama. Krishna, Arjuna is saying, Krishna, you are Agni. Agni. He acts like Agni, and that's a fact. When Prahlad Maharaj was made to sit on the lap of Holika and the fire was all around, who got burnt? Holika got burnt. Krishna as fire was protecting Prahlada. Isn't it? He was in the fire. That fire was not ordinary fire. That who? What was that fire? That fire was none other than Krishna. And Arjuna is saying, "Yes, you are fire." You see, why Prahlada was not burnt? Because that fire was not fire. It was Krishna. Similarly, that one another devotee, Rajkumar Sudanva. Sudanva was also a great devotee. He was put in the boiling oil, but he did not get burnt. Why? Because the heat was none other than Krishna. The fire was none other than Krishna. So for Krishna, for devotees, when you become devotees of the Lord will protect us in so many ways. And here again he's saying, Arjuna is saying, Krishna, you are Varuna. You're also Varuna. Varuna means one who actually gifted Arjuna the Gandiva bow. Gandiva was given to Arjuna by Varuna. So Varuna is the god of waters, and Krishna is referred here as you are also Varuna. You are also water. You are so fluid. So you take and assume any form that you want. You're unlimited. You no restrictions. You cannot be restricted in any way. Water is not cannot be restricted. It just flows. No matter what obstructions, it will flow. So this way, Krishna is being glorified here. And then he's saying, I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times continuously. Punascha bhuyo pi namo namaste. Continuously, Arjuna is paying namaskara to Krishna. I again and again and again, I offer my namaskara to you. So this is so beautiful. And Krishna is further glorified by Arjuna. There are 11 verses actually. These are 11 verses we have discussed about few today. We have discussed 36, 37, 38 and 39, 4 verses. So we have another 7 verses where Arjuna is going to glorify further aspects, wonderful qualities of Krishna. Yes, so if you have any questions now, you can feel free to ask questions. Any questions, please feel to ask questions. Right? Very interesting. These are all little philosophical, but these are very interesting philosophical verses that we need to understand. There is so much of depth. There is a lot of depth in all these verses because they are talking about a limitless Lord. So it's always very limited. Our time is limited, so otherwise we can just go on and on, isn't it?
Prabhuji, uh,
Yes, dear.
in YouTube comment section, someone's asked a question: what is Vibhuti?
Okay. What is the meaning of Vibhuti? Now, Vibhuti means they're opulences of the Lord. Vibhuti, we have the Krishna Vibhuti Yoga, right? So Vibhuti means like Krishna has many, many opulences. Krishna has his Shat Aishwarya Purnam, right? So the 10th chapter was named as what? It is Vibhuti Yoga, right? Krishna Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti means what? Opulences. What is that Vibhuti? One of the Vibhuti is that Krishna is very beautiful. Beauty is one of the Vibhuti of the Lord. It is the opulence of the Lord, Aishwarya of the Lord. His intelligence, Bhagavad Gita, spoken 5,000 years ago, we are still speaking about it. The knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita is so wonderful, absolute knowledge. So it is a Vibhuti, is all knowledgeable. All strength, Krishna is very powerful. Strength is so much that 7-year-old boy lifting a Govardhana hill in his little finger, that is Vibhuti, so much strength. Not even a wrestler, the best of the best world champion in the wrestling cannot lift Govardhana hill, but Krishna lifted. Why? Because that is the Vibhuti of the Lord, unlimited Vibhuti. So, like that, his fame spread across all over the three worlds, not just on this planet, but his fame is across the three worlds. People glorify him across the three worlds. That's why the Devatas are coming down to see him. His fame is all spread across, right? So, fame attracts. His renunciation, his Vairagya, is one of the Vibhuti. So, he is everywhere, but he's still detached. He's not attached to anybody or anything. He's detached. The detachment is actually a vibhuti. We are so attached to so many things and so many people, right? So we are limited, but Lord is limitless. So similarly, when we see any good qualities, any qualities which are so extraordinary, that is called vibhuti. So vibhuti means these are all the different qualities, different wonderful qualities of the Lord, opulences of the Lord, which he possesses. Wealth, unlimited wealth. Lakshmi Devi itself is his consort. So unlimited fortune, good fortune is there, unlimited wealth is there. It all belongs to Krishna. So that is opulence of the Lord. So vibhuti, that's all vibhuti. Any other question? All right, so it was nice meeting all of you once again. So we will again continue our discussion from verse number 40 in the next session. There are so many beautiful things to be discussed, and please take care. Until then, keep chanting, do your sadhana nicely, and we'll keep you posted if anything is there in your mind or any questions. You can feel free to ask them in the WhatsApp group. Okay, please take care. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Dev.